I think I was a better director than I was a dancer for sure.
Yeah. Let me pay you this compliment real quick. There are a few people that I would feel comfortable being directed by. If I ever had the chance, I would let you direct.
Oh, that
100%.
means a lot, man.
Yeah, Cliff was over last night, and took everything in me to not be like, "Hey, do you want to bring your clippers with you?"
Hey, you got the clip episode in last night?
Yeah. It was good.
Right.
It was nice. It was nice. It was crazy about this whole thing is it's given me a chance to really talk to a lot of people that I don't get to talk to normally. Like, have you guys like seen that too?
A little bit. I feel like, before, like, group chats would be like mostly about just like, hey, what's the plan tonight? Like, how are we getting down and shit?
Yeah.
But now it's like, hey, let's play fucking games on Zoom or some shit. Let's fucking do some activities,
Yeah.
some random stuff.
Yeah. So tell me, so I'm still learning how to do like intros and stuff, right? So
Yeah.
So I know you how?
Through dance.
Yeah.
I first learned about you whenever you taught a class at Soundbox.
I'm sorry.
Like at Glenmont. I think I was on Wildstyle at that point.
Were you really?
Yeah, like 2011, I think. Summer
right.
2011.
Yeah.
Something
That's
like
the first
that.
time I came around.
Yeah, so they're like, oh yeah, this Washington choreographer is coming through. I was like, oh, tight.
Whack.
But I didn't really even. I've been asked at taking class like my whole dance career. I've been asked.
Same.
So
you're good, bro.
No, that's straight up nah. But I don't know. Like, I don't know why I never took class, dude. I was always like, man, I don't have money for it, or like, oh man, like I gotta.
Yeah.
Like I was on Wildstyle as a secret. Like my family didn't know I was on Wildstyle.
Why was it a secret?
Because they didn't want me to dance. They didn't want me to do dance life. My older sister was on Wildstyle like 2008.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, she danced for like a year. She was on Modern 2008 and Wildstyle 2008.
See, I learned that yesterday from Cliff that a lot of people on Galing and Wild come from Modern.
Like
Phil and all that.
Houston community is like hella. Like that's why whenever me and June got the opportunity to direct Modern, like that was 2013, and then after that year we directed, and we're like, there's a fuck ton of good dancers, and we're just like, hey, like
it put work in.
I mean, we already practiced at Soundbox for Modern. What do y'all think about coming out? And then slowly it started building up.
Dang, that's crazy. Wait, so when did you jump on Galing, or when did that whole thing pop off?
Galing was 2008. Are we recording already?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
We just
I don't even know.
I figured when we cut.
What's up, guys? Galing started 08, and it was just for like our church Filipino Group's podcast. Church Filipino Groups, like they had the end of the year school award thing. So like, Filipinos, they make the kids do all. They make it like a talent show. Everybody's got to sing or dance. If someone does karate, they got to do karate. So we just put something together. I think it was like either the summer. When was ABDC the first season?
2000.
Like 2007?
8 or 7.
I feel like it was either after So Real or after Jabberwockies. I was like, I could probably do something similar to that shit. Like, like I could probably do choreo. It's not that bad because
every Filipino can dance.
That's what I was thinking. I was fucking trash at the beginning, but that's what I was thinking. Because Chris and his cousin Joey, they were already B-boys, but I had tried once and I fell on my back and I was like, that's good. I'm good with that. Y'all could do that.
Wait, how'd you get linked up with them though?
Just childhood friends.
Okay.
That Filipino church group was like, that's how I met Ryan. That's how I met Chris. All our friends like grew up there. And then we met June and DA, the other two OG Galing guys.
Yeah.
Through school.
See, that's one thing I really like about you and Galing and the homies that you guys roll with. Like, you guys are friends inside, outside the studio, on, off stage. Like, you guys really like black out together.
Yeah.
Like, I was so sad when I found out I was moving to Houston, and then I came on and then I found out that you were retiring. I was like, bro, like, how am I ever gonna dance with Sean? Like, how is this gonna happen now? Like, well,
Hey, yo, we got like 2 in post retirement.
we do.
We did. We got Calvin and June in post retirement.
Shout out to them. Good looking out.
Yeah, for real. Dance finds a way to retirement, not really retirement. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
so, we joke about like how podcast is like the retirement home for dancers. Like, this
the new wave, dude. When the body don't work no more. I
gotta tell you, it's I've only done 2, maybe 3 episodes now, recorded in the bank, and it's cool just to talk to the homies about dance. And I don't know about you, but I could never talk to other people who weren't dancers, and it was hard for me to find ground, like, in a deep way.
I could see that, because like whenever I got like, all right, so it's like I graduated 2010 from high school, right? So like after high school, I was like, all right, I got all this time. Like Galing, we're starting to get some traction, the 5 of us.
Yeah.
So I'm like, all right, we're doing shows, we're doing this. We got shirts. I'm like, all right, this is like my full-time focus. Like, we used to practice Saturday and Sunday, I think, and like all day.
Dang.
Like, we used to go to the Pearland Rec, and it was like all day.
How big was the squad back then? Just you 5?
Just us 5. 2010 was just us 5. So 08, it was kind of just like, it was homies. They were like, hey, we got a performance in 2 months. If you can come through, learn a piece, you can just fucking duck and run out and then chill on side stage until the next one. But then 2010, we like, people stopped coming, and it was kind of just like the 5 of us, and we kind of like all zoned in and got it, like started getting booked and doing competitions and shit. So like all focus went into that. We'd be like, all right, we got a competition in 2 weeks. We make a set from scratch in 2 weeks, just the 5 of us knocking it out and shit.
When did you guys start realizing that maybe you guys were good? You know, like, when did you start getting traction?
I remember I thought that my sister's wedding. So my sister, she like I said, she was on Wild Style. So at her wedding, she had Wild Style perform at her wedding. So we also we opened up for Wild Style, like through the little bone type of deal. And then I was like, all right, we're going to perform this. She got married in January, and then they were going to have the grand opening show in like 2 or 3 weeks. I was like, all right, dudes, we kill this shit. We get booked for Soundbox. We dance at the grand opening. Boom, Soundbox team. We in that bitch. And then we performed, and then I ain't hear nothing back from nobody. I was like, oh shit, we fucking bombed it, bro. Oh no.
Man, but you directed a long time, right? Like, that whole time, basically.
Yeah, because I mean, pretty much. So when it first started, if you can find our first YouTube performance, it's not called Galing, but it's linked and stuff.
Okay.
But it's primarily like a breakdance / choreo type deal. Yeah. Chris and Joey were breakdance, and then me and Ryan. Ryan is athletic, so he could learn how to do like top rock and 6 stuff.
Yeah.
I would kind of just sit in the back. I was chubby and I couldn't do that shit. But like, I don't know. I forgot what were we talking about?
So when did you like really start popping off? Like, when you were like, yo, we got something here. Like, we got like a good foundation now.
The first time I felt like we had foundation. Okay, so after my sister's wedding, we picked up DA, and then we picked up June, and then we started doing like opening for like YouTube artists.
Okay.
With just us 5, like we did like AJ Raphael and Passion, and what else do we do? Jeff Bernat, Kino.
Yeah.
I don't think we did. They all get mixed up, but but when it was just the five of us, that's when like it felt like something was starting to happen. Like things were clicking. All five of us. Like originally, me and Ryan didn't choreo.
Yeah.
For the first like year, maybe just like the first year of Glink, it was just Chris, nothing but Chris. And then maybe year two, me and Ryan would collab or dabble some shit. And then right out the gate, 2010, DA knew what he was doing automatically. If you haven't checked out
I
DA,
haven't. I don't know. Put me on.
Dude, he's fucking good, dude. He ended up focusing on school and work and everything. So he kind of got phased out towards like whenever Wad Houston started. Yeah. So he never really did WAD with us, except for one time when we went to Chicago.
Oh, but, nice. You guys did watch Chicago?
Yeah, we did watch Chicago.
What did you guys do?
That's a whole nother.
No, we went too in 2016, 15 with As Cause, like in El Paso. And it was bad.
Were we there the same year?
Nah, we were the only ones there from Texas.
Okay. We went whenever we did Airplane set. So I don't remember if Airplane was 16 or 15.
I think we went after you guys.
Okay. Yeah. We went, and then this is like no shade to Wad or whatever. It is what it is. But something was fishy when we got there. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
like, I think.
I don't,
like,
because we just sucked.
No. Nah, I'm sure y'all were tight, but. I like Puzzle League. You know, if you follow Chicago, you know Puzzle League. They're the top dogs.
Yeah.
But like they didn't. I forget what place they got. Maybe like second or third. They didn't win, and then we got like hella low, like the lowest we've ever gotten out of WAD. We were like, this got second in Houston. But okay.
It's different on the East Coast.
Like, but the thing is, like, first place was I'm not calling them out, but they had like the rapper for some trendy song in the set, and they were dancing to the song with the rapper rapping.
They pulled what's the school and Drumline when they had PD Pablo come out?
Oh yeah. I forget.
They pulled one of those. Yeah. Oh no, it's lagging a little bit.
It was something that, and team members were like bucking, and like the judges weren't like, they were not like paying super attention to everybody. Like people were performing, they'd be on their phones and stuff. So, you know what? It is what it is. We didn't place. We all have our different opinions on that. But
yeah.
For me personally, at the end of the day, with sets and everything, like me personally, it's always about like, you know, whatever, like the journey to get there type of deal. Like,
yeah, for sure.
Of course, it's a competition. Of course, I want to fucking win and get like, you know, I don't know, like
say it,
accolades or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, I know, like, I directed, I was like, okay, like, I know what it is. I know we're pretty good. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, because that's not like being, I don't want to sound like cocky, but like we selected the dancers, we put in the dancers, I'm confident in the product that we put on stage.
Nah, be cocky. I think you need to be, because Cliff and I were talking last night and we said the same thing. We said, what's the point of going into a competition if you're not going to want to win?
Yeah.
Like why go in and be like, oh, everybody should do well? Nah, fuck that. Like go in, go hungry and feel hurt if you don't get first. That's okay. But don't trip and be like, nah, I don't want to. No, you guys did really good work. And I think I liked about with you guys watching you over the years is I always felt like, and maybe it's because you guys were all together for so long, is that you guys were consistent. Like the style, the choices, the way you put the sets together. Like I felt like I always knew what I was going to get when I come to you guys. And my favorite set from you guys was, I don't even know what you would call it. It's the one 2014 with like the maroon.
The little gold thing.
Yeah.
The college drop set, right?
Yes. That was my favorite set going in.
We had fuck ton of chemistry going into that set.
Yeah,
Because
it showed.
It was like
having so much fun.
Yeah, it was like, so I've loved every season of Grwn,
Yeah.
but as it gets bigger, it's harder to stay as connected.
You talking about the size of the team?
So like the size of the team.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Because I tried when I directed, I tried to at least like tap up every single person before every practice, be like, yo, what's up? What's up?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
But then as it gets bigger and bigger, you get less and less time before practice. So it's hard to we throw socials and stuff, but it's always hard.
Yeah.
And then when you get older and older, and then the members get younger and younger,
it's different.
It's hard to connect the same. But I'd like to say, me personally, I don't remember that's ever been on Grwn, even if it was only for a season. Like we've had like a Sabi and a Bao Bao come through. Yeah. It was tight. Steve was on Grwn for a season.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I love it. Like, even if you're only on there for a couple months, like, we're in that bitch 3 times a week, 3 hours each practice. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I can't not appreciate you giving me the trust to lead you for, even if it's a month. You know what I mean?
Yo, I got chills just now. Yeah, I think that's why people put you in such high regard as a director and as a leader. Like your last set, I got to be there the last time you were on stage, and the group hug that happens afterwards, tears are flying. A lot of us are already drunk.
Bro.
Yeah,
and I am a crybaby, bro.
I know, and I love it
about that kind of stuff.
But you gotta be emotional about it. But here's I think the tough part was it wasn't just you that left.
Yeah, it was me and Ryan at the same time.
Did you guys plan that, talk that out?
So after Wad Dallas, going into Wad Dallas, I was like, I'm kind of in, I think even before that, really, maybe before Wad Dallas, maybe 2017, after we won first place, I was kind of like, in my mind, I was like kind of gearing up to retire. And then I'm like, look, June is back. Alex and Neil they're ready, in my opinion. I don't know what Ryan's plan is. If he's there, that's great too. Like he's there to help transition, but like, I'm kind of, like at that point I was like, other people are ready and I want to give them the room to grow and take that spot.
How did you know that you were ready to hang up the shoes? Was there a moment?
I don't know if there's a specific moment, but I realized, I remember in the middle of that Dallas set, I was like, I think I was thinking like, okay, this is going to be my last one. But I was like, no, I didn't like prep anybody for it to be my last one. So I'll do like, one more. Yeah. But I think just in the middle of that, I was just like, I really need I spent all of my time, like, when you direct a team.
Yeah. It's
like you spend all your time thinking about that.
It's a full-time job after your job.
Yes. Yeah. So it's like, all right, even when I was in school, I'm like I straight up have zero I have one friend from high school left. Yeah. Just because, hey, you want to hang out? No, I got Grwn. Like I got practice. What it is. And like you said, like if they're not dancers, they're like, oh, so you can't make time for me? It's like, no, I got like 30 other people waiting on me. Like I can't. Yeah. Like this is what it is. This is my focus. I chose to direct. So like, I'm gonna do my best to direct. So it's just like, after so many years, I was like, okay, people are in the position and like, at that point, I'm like, dude, Neil and Alex, they're better choreographers than me, in my opinion, at this point. So I'm like, they're ready to take it. Yeah. June has been a beast since day one. So I'm like, June could have had this. Right. But I was like, all right, it's 2018. I'm eventually gonna need to focus in on work, take time for myself, get money for a ring, get ready for married life. So I'm like, look, like I need time to focus on like my future. You know what I mean?
Was that hard?
So,
or was it hard, or was it time?
It's weird to say like both.
No,
like,
I mean, I get it.
Like, cause it was like, look, like this is hard because this, like I said, I've lost a lot of friends. I've lost a lot of like professional opportunities to do this.
I understand what you're saying. Yeah.
So it's like, it's hard to think about it like that. Like, yo, it's coming to an end. This is real. But also I was, at ease. Cause I was like, dude, June, Alex, and Neil are so good.
Do you feel like you did it? You accomplished what you came to do?
To be honest, like we had 0 goals for Grwn.
Word. That's dope.
When we started, we were just homies. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Hey, we'll do a competition. Let's fucking go beast mode. We do the competition. That's tight. We get first. We get whatever.
Yeah.
And then like, it just started building. Wad Dallas opened up in 2012. We were like, yo, it'd be tight if we get like a couple more people besides just the 5 of us. We go up there, compete, it'd be cool. June was like, I know I got homies up north, P3.
Oh, yeah.
That was their team name back then. It was like K-Pang and all the Kenneth, all the Northerners, JL. And then he was like, yo, I could ask them. They were like, so then we did that. And then we were like, yo, managing more people is pretty tight. It's made a lot of new friends, blah, blah, blah. Practice all the time. People are seeing our stuff. So from there, we did Wad Houston opened up the next year. And that was 13. And me and this directed Modern for the first time.
Oof.
So there,
lagging a little bit.
They joined
just a little bit.
Team. Okay, so we went into that like, is it back?
Yeah, you got you. Okay,
cool. But yeah, 2013, we had the homies come in, and we went into that like, yo, we're going against Wild Style, we're going against So Real. There was how Academy had a bunch of Academy of teams that were all kind of like, there was an Academy team that was coming in, so we were like from out of state, we're like, okay, that's probably top 3.
Yeah.
We'll just go in there. We'll do our thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then we got third, and then we were fucking pumped, dude. We were so excited for third because the Academy team was tight.
Yeah.
Like they were really good. Like they performed, like we were in the first act. You know how they kind of,
that's tough to open.
You know how we didn't open, but we were like
first half
act. We were like in the middle of the first act. So not even like right before intermission. Like we were in the middle. So we were like, we're kind of in like a shit spot. I
don't know. I think if that's your first like real competition and you got something decent, that's the spot you want to be in, right? Because you got the soft openers who are and then you get to wake everybody up really quick. And then the rest of the second half may or may not be good. So
that's true.
Everyone goes, oh, Grwn? Okay, cool. So you get first half if you're good.
Yeah. So maybe that did work out in our benefit.
Yeah.
But we got third. There's like I don't know if you can find it on Facebook. There's a picture of like Chris Chavez, third place trophy, like it's the NBA Finals trophy. He's like crying, holding it backstage. We were all crying, dude, because we got the year before at Wad Dallas, we got like 6th.
Yeah.
So we were like, all right, we're thinking maybe like 5th, and then we get third. We beat an Academy team, so we're like super pumped. And then after that, homies that had retired or weren't dancing anymore came and joined Grwn.
Yeah.
Because I guess we were officially a top Houston team.
As long as I've known you guys, you've always been top tier.
Thanks, man.
Yeah.
But like we did it, I don't think until 2013 people took us like super serious. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whenever we got third, and um, team that weren't dancing anymore because different style than wild style, and then we danced a different style than so real. So it was, I guess people came back because it was like something they wanted to try or something. Like they were either homies of other members or they were just like, oh, it's like a super different masculine team or whatever.
Yo, facts. And I, no regrets, but I didn't even know about you guys when I first came on to Houston. Like
I mean, we weren't like, it was just the 5 of us. So I don't blame you for not knowing.
Yeah. Like I wish I would have connected sooner because I didn't even get to talk to you until I moved back. And then, we're both on the back ends of retirement, right? You're directing. Yeah. And I really wasn't even planning on dancing anymore when I got back. I just wanted to take class. And Grwn.
For real?
Yeah. I mean, I'm a little bit older too, and it's different because, I directed in college. Like I started a team in college, but you age out. So I can't direct for 10 years, right? Like I'm like, I'm done. And then I directed with college in El Paso, but then I moved. So at that point, I'm like, I just want to dance. I just want to work on me, be a craft, be a good team player. And then at a certain point, you get old. I'm like, is this really what I want to do anymore? For me, if I'm on stage, it's because I want to dance with the homies, right? And Grwn knew that, and he guilt tripped me and said, this is my last one after LA. So you should jump on. So we jumped on and we just ended up staying on because,
I mean, that's a good reason.
I'm not mad at it. We had a great time. Yeah. But, everyone's always asking us like, yo, when you go to Houston, you jumping down with, you try out for Galing or go back to Real, Wild. Like Wild was there for me when I first came out the gate. Like they gave me my first opportunity to teach and everything. I'm loyal to a T. But I first talked to somebody recently, like, look, if you go back, would you go back? Like, who would you go back to? And I'm not saying one way or another, but here's what I take, right? Is if I go back, I'm going back not for the homies anymore. Like if I go back now, I'm going balls to the walls for trophies. Like I don't need, like I'm going Rodman status. Like I don't need to be friends with you. You know what I mean? Like if I were to ever go back, like I don't need that anymore. Like let's put work in, let's go. Otherwise, like I'm going home to sleep.
Yeah, especially like you got a full ass family now, dog. You got a full-fledged family, bro.
You're right there too, though.
Yeah.
What's the biggest difference now? So we can transition to this talk. So what's the biggest difference now, now that you're engaged with Nancy? So cheers to you and your engagement, sir.
Thank you.
So what's the biggest difference between, dating someone, being in a relationship, and now taking that step towards, being engaged and towards marriage?
Yeah. So for me, like Nancy is like my first serious girlfriend. You know what I mean?
You lucked out. She's great.
Thank you, man. I'm super lucky, but like, yeah. So when I dated, I was born and raised like super hardcore Catholic. So I was like, all right, if I'm dating somebody, huh? So when I was like, when I pictured myself eventually getting like a for real girlfriend, I was like, okay, so I'm not trying to waste time. You know what I mean?
Hey,
like if I'm dating somebody,
I respect that.
I want to date somebody I see a future with, type of deal.
That's dope.
So thanks, man. So I always had in my mind, I mean, I don't know how much of this, like me being naive, it's my first girlfriend, first time feeling way, but like a month in, I texted Chris. It might have been less than a month. I don't know if I was just being I dead ass knew, but I texted Chris. I was like, I'm pretty sure things are going really good. I don't know if all relationships are like this, but I'm pretty sure. And he was like, oh, that's tight. I don't know about that, but that's tight. I mean, I don't know how much of that was just, pair it up with somebody sober, like me just being naive about it. But yeah, I don't know. The difference between dating and where we're at right now, I would say the big difference is just like when you're dating the future, but it's just like, 90% of it is enjoying the now.
Yeah.
Now that we're engaged, it's like 40% is enjoying the now. 60% is like, all right, let's fucking make sure our future is gangsta. So like we gotta
That's
fucking
heavy.
finance the fuck out of things, like find the savings, like we gotta find compromises. We're not gonna have like the perfect house and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like we gotta be realistic. Fucking Pinterest board all day. Fucking finding house inspiration stuff.
Hell yeah.
Wedding stuff, especially during Corona wedding stuff.
Oh my gosh. Hey, shout outs to your photographer though, Annette.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Small world.
Yeah. So for anyone who didn't know, like I was working on my photography, right? And I didn't know this. They do like workshops. So they set up different events to make it look like weddings or different, styles so that you could build your portfolio up. And so there was one called at a farmhouse or something for The Notebook. Like they reenacted it. And so I went out there and Annette was there with her Fuji cameras and she was killing it.
Those cameras are so cool.
Yeah.
Bro.
The way she edits it too is so nice.
Yeah, it's nice.
Yeah. I saw the samples. You guys look adorable. Just
thank you, man.
Killing.
She's fucking good, dude.
Yeah.
Because like me and Nancy going in, we're fucking not super PDA, you know what I mean? So this is like downtown Houston in front of people, like outside of restaurants and shit, people walking around. And she made us feel super comfortable.
She's really good at that stuff.
Shout out Annette, dude. She's super good.
Book her up. But so I was going to ask you this too. And I haven't spent time with Nancy either, but just like you, she's always been super supportive of us. In fact, after I did the first episode dropped, and she just wrote me this nice long thing, feedback. And it was super nice. Like to the point where I was like I don't even know you like that, except through Sean. Like I just want to hug you so bad. Everything going on. So I was going to ask, does she dance?
So not anymore. She retired before me, and
okay.
So she was on. I met her through Modern. So,
okay.
Like it's funny. Like first time she met me, she thought I was like a fucking asshole. Like apparently, I don't know. Like
I never got that from you.
In my early days, maybe I gave off asshole vibes because I wanted people to take me like serious. But that's what some people have told me, and then some people have been like, "Nah, I've
never got that from you.
You've been a fucking cornball since day one." So it's like I don't know what the deal is, but she was like, "Yeah, I thought you were like an asshole because you didn't like talk to anybody from Modern. You'd go in, you'd be like, all right, this is what we need to do. You direct or do whatever, but like you never really talked to any of us." And then I was like, I didn't really talk to you because. So the year prior to me directing Modern, I'm like going all over the place. My bad.
Yeah.
But the year prior to directing Modern, we were doing that Dallas set, 2012. We were practicing in the small room of the old sound box, and Modern was practicing in the big room sound box. So I saw her a year before I directed her.
Okay.
And I was like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I was like, hey. So she probably won't like me saying this, but when I saw her in 2012, I was like, hey, yo, that Indian chick is fine as fuck, dude. And then when I directed Modern for auditions, she was in there, and then they were writing names, and they were like, oh yeah, that's Nancy Martinez. And I was like, Martinez? She's not Indian, dude? I was like, oh shit. But yeah, so like I had already been attracted to her at that point. But I didn't want to holler at her in the middle of directing.
That's straight.
And then like during Hell Week, we'll see her every day and I got rejected or some shit. Like, I'm trying to keep this. I'm trying to be focused. I'm trying to. UH has a huge, like, good fill legacy.
Yeah.
Like anybody who's anybody in the, like, at one point has danced on. Not anybody. Ryan didn't dance on modern, but like previously, you know, it was like Puspos and Batarina modern, Ocampo, Cliff, Wes modern, like Dewey modern. Of course, there's like amazing, talented people that didn't do modern, like Ryan or Twan, like amazing leaders. You were here at the time. That doesn't count. But like, you know, for the most part, modern has been a tool for choreographers to use to get their name to the city. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm super focused. I'm dialed in. Like, my sister danced on this. I know I looked up to So Real so hard back then. Like, they done this. Like, this is a big deal for me. So I'm not trying to holler or make any new friends. I'm trying to get us first place. You know what I mean? So, but literally immediately after Goodfill, I was like, hey, yo, what's up? Like, sliding in DMs and stuff. Like, what's up, Nancy? Like, you finna take my class on Thursday or what's up? Things like that.
You got that guest spot?
Yeah, it's like, yeah, I can fucking comp you. It's no big deal. What's up?
No big deal.
Whatever.
Put you on the
list. You know I'll put you down, you know, personal. But
that's great.
But yeah.
So the reason I was asking was because I haven't seen her dance, right? But have you dated non-dancers? Can you do that?
So, I mean, I dated her after she retired, but like she already knew.
But she danced a little bit. Like she
knew what dance life was. Yeah, so she was on Modern 2012, and then I think her last one was like 2016, and then she was on Galing until 2016.
Yeah, but she gets it then, right? Like, could you?
But she gets dance life. Like
she's around and she's
like
supportive.
The all girl team. She knows what it is. Yeah.
But
I don't
know. Like, I could never date an accountant.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I don't know if I mean, Nancy was my first, so I don't know like what I could say, but it would be hard. I feel like, I mean, I lost so many friends, so I imagine if friends don't understand, it would be hard for anybody else to understand. If they haven't been acclimated to what.
Yeah. It's like
how time consuming dance life is. Dance life is.
We're athletes.
A fucking for real life, dude.
Yeah. I was really lucky to have Taylor, who's like a diehard dancer, like through and through.
Yeah, I listened to the podcast episodes, man.
Oh,
I see both of y'all being like, all right, if we're doing this, know that you're second to dance.
Yo, that's facts. And so I was talking to, you know, some other people, and they're like, oh, like, could you date me? I'm lost, but I've broken up with girls before because they just don't get it. And just straight savage, like, I'm sorry, it's just not gonna work. Like, you don't get it. So that's cool that she gets it and she dances. And that's why I see it now, why she's supportive and how you guys make it work. I think I understand part of it now.
We danced together for a long time.
Yeah.
It was only towards the back end of my stuff that she, because even after she stopped Galing, she did Alexis Tubbs. She did the all girl group with Alexis.
And is that the one? Did they do
Cakes?
Yeah.
She was on Cakes, and then she was on the all girl group for West Grits. So she did some stuff after Galing because she was like, you know, before West, the big thing with Galing was like, it was like hardcore boy choreo all the time. So then we got lucky with Wes, and then we got lucky with Sade and Jaren and all the. There's so many talented females on Galing now. It's insane. Yeah. But back then it wasn't like that. So she was like, you know, she was like, not that I don't want to be on Galing, but I have limited time to dance. So I want to focus on something like more feminine just because I've never had the chance 100%. To do that. And I was like, you don't have to explain to me. Like, I get it.
Yeah.
do you? You know what I'm saying? You've done so many competitions. You've traveled with us. Like, you're good. Like, I get it.
I love that you guys would do that for each other. So now you're retired.
Yeah.
How did Shots and Thoughts happen? Because I feel like are you before Sports Trap?
I think I had planned it before Sports Trap started, but I think Sports Trap put out their stuff before us.
Because as far as I know, I mean, I feel like you two kind of started the podcasting thing, you know, in Houston anyway, in our circles.
Yeah. They were definitely before us.
Okay.
Because I remember setting stuff up. I was texting Qua a lot.
Nice. Yeah.
Like, what the fuck is Phantom Power?
The same way I text you?
Sort of similar. I was probably high key way more like I was in there like asking dumbass questions like, what's a XLR, dude? What's
shout out to Quad though. Like Quad taught me how to work a camera. I'm still learning, you know, like do photo and video work. He helped me kind of put the lights up and everything and help me stage some things. So Quad will definitely set you up if you ask the right questions.
Yeah, man. Qua is super knowledgeable about a lot of stuff. And
yeah.
You just hit him up. He's super generous with his time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shout out Qua, man.
So how did you come up with the premise of Shots and Dots? Because now you're with the boys still. You're with Ryan and Chris.
Yeah, man. My two best friends from childhood started Grwn together. Now we're starting this together. Yeah. Probably my last year of Grwn, I was like starting to super listen to podcasts.
Yeah.
And I was like, this sounds like a fuck ton of fun. So I was like, starting a podcast would be tight if I could start with my, you know, two best friends.
Yeah.
Like it would be a lot of fun because we're all adults now. We have girlfriends, fiancés, etc. We got our day jobs. And now without dance, like the amount of time that we will see each other is a lot less.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, I've been listening to podcasts. They seem like a lot of fun.
Yep.
I should do one with the homies. I just got to find a good idea. And then I was just thinking like, you know, I don't know a bunch of stuff that people should know, or I'm sure other people think the same thing, but they don't want to, they never really thought about it, or they're too embarrassed to find out about it. So I was like, okay, I'm sure there's a way we could learn about something, like dig into rabbit holes and like,
you guys go random.
Make it fun.
Like, it was the one, was it last week?
Why do dogs smell butts?
That was what I was going to talk about. Like, I was like, what? I was like, it's so random. I didn't even question why they would do that. It's crazy.
Yeah, because sometimes you go like political, like census, and then or like Corona or some shit like that.
Yeah.
Ryan is real good about being like, all right, we went kind of serious the last couple episodes. Let's do something like really fucking dumb. Like, so he was like, why don't we do this? And then me and Chris are like, yeah, dude. Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah, I think that's a good point. I think that's kind of where I want to take the conversation is that one of the reasons why I think you're so interesting to me, besides
thank you.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
Welcome, Nancy. Is because I feel like you grew up with a good set of friends, and I feel like you have a core group of male friends. And that's something that I didn't necessarily have growing up. I was a military brat, right? So I moved around a lot. And so now I have my groomsmen now, right? Like it took me the last few years to like really, really get tight. And, you know, they're like my San Diego heads who are always coming in to visit in Houston and like, you know, all of that now. But you got to grow up with that. I didn't realize how important it was to have a squad, a tribe, like true ride or die like that. You know, like, so has it always been good like that? You know, like, how do you keep that relationship with the boys and grow up to be men together?
So it hasn't like Chris and Ryan and then our homie Raymond. We were in that church, that Filipino group together.
Yeah.
So like we see each other multiple times a month, like outside of school. Like, you know, we have strict Filipino parents. So like we don't, at least me personally, I didn't really hang out at my school friends' houses. I'd only get to hang out at my church group friends' houses. So like, I just lucked into having that relationship. And then, you know, we get older. We're all dancing besides Raymond. So
how
you're able
important
to keep in touch for that.
To have men specifically, like good men around you.
Do
you even think about it yet?
I've never really thought. I mean, I grew up with no brothers. So like I have two sisters, and then I don't know. I had two sisters. They had their friends over at the house all the time. So I kind of just like, I feel like that is why I'm sort of like super, I guess like I try to understand, like, to the best of my ability. I try to understand like women and
empathetic.
Yeah, I'm empathetic to them, and I try to like learn as much as I can, because I feel like, you know, it's we're the privileged sex.
Yeah, sure.
Of being men. Men are privileged. You know what I'm saying? So I try to empathize with them and understand them, and I think I have a lot to do with growing up with my sisters and their friends. So I don't know. I've never really thought about the importance of male friends. It kind of just happened.
Like here's one example I'll use is, and like I said, I've always had friends, like really good friends, male, female, whatever. But when it came down, and I think, I'm assuming you've already know who your groomsmen are, right?
Yeah.
So when I came down to that, like I was like, okay, let me do the draft real quick, right?
Yeah.
The fact that I even had to do the draft is like, okay, well, I should have a tighter group. So then I spent time like kind of refining that and seeing like who's really in for me and down for me. And then someone said, was like, here's how you choose is if you have to go to jail, who's checking on your wife? I was like, oh, okay, you know, and I was like, why would I be in jail, you asshole?
Why is that the scenario, dude?
Yeah. Why aren't you in jail with me? So, but I was like, okay, but that makes sense though. And now that I have Elijah, you know, it's more important for me to find who I think are good men who have a good head on their shoulders, talking to guys like you who have, who are learning how to be empathetic and leaders, you know, servant leaders and all that. That's why I think I've always looked up to you in that sense of you have a really tight group of boys, like through and through, you know? So if you didn't think about it, like you're lucky, like straight up.
Thank you, man. Andy, when Andy first moved here from Dallas, he was like, and after we had already became homies for like a couple years, he was like, dude, I'm lucky that I'm like, that we all clicked and like, y'all like welcomed me in and whatever. Cause it's hard to move to a place and make like genuine friends.
Like good friends. Yeah.
Yeah. He was like, there's so many coworkers or like, I just know other people from Dallas that have moved other places, and it's so hard to make friends. Like he was like, I'm lucky, you know, to have y'all. And then I'm like, you know, I've never really, I mean, besides that conversation, I've never been like, I mean, of course I feel lucky to have those friends, but I've never thought about like the important, I don't know. Like, I don't know how to answer your question, but I've always been like really grateful to have them. You know what I mean? I don't know if that makes sense.
No, I get it. I think it's a good problem to have to not be able to answer that question because you have it. You've had it for a while.
Because I've never experienced not having a close group of male friends. So it's just like the thought of not having that has never crossed my mind. You know what I mean?
So lucky. Yeah, and I'm not saying that I wasn't happy or being taken care of. Like,
for sure.
but like, you just don't know what you don't know. Right. So when I finally found that tribe, that squad that I have now, I'm like, oh, dang, like, this is what it's like to have like real conversations with men and not just shoot the shit, because a lot of times our friendships are based on doing things, right? Like when I was young and playing sports and stuff, like I had really good friends. And then I realized if we weren't playing sports together, we weren't really talking. Like we weren't really hanging out, right? Or like if we weren't chasing girls together, we weren't, that was it. And so I think that's why the idea of groomsmen are so important, because they're invested in you and Nancy, like in a way that's so deep. You know what I mean? And I see Ryan and them doing that for you, like 100%. You guys have always been nice. You guys always been nice about it too. Like to the outside, when I came to move, like Andy makes a point. Like when I came to move, I didn't know, Style, Galing, So Real, all that. Like I didn't know if there was beef, or is it just competition, or what it is. Like I don't care. Like I just want to dance and I'll smoke anybody who wants it. Right. But, but you directing Galing at the time were always super nice to me. Like, do you remember dapping me up on the stage after your last show? You were drunk.
Yeah, I do. Okay. At WAD, when I fucking shattered my ankle on stage in the front
who put that video up?
Justin, that's bitch. Yo, and I'm not trying to say I'm like super good at dancing or whatever, but like prior to that, bad. I've never had. I'm not bad. So like prior to that, I've never had like a big time like fuck up. And I was like, my last competition, it would fucking happen. Front row, shatter my ankle. So
but like, you got up so fast.
I tried, man. Inspiration from Ryan, dude. Ryan, our first Watt Houston. I don't know if you know it. He did a backflip and fucking
I've heard stories.
He landed on his fucking face, bro. And he fucking got up. You see him shake his head and then fucking choreo, tears in his eyes, a fucking beast. I'm like 99.9% sure he had a concussion. Like he got up immediately, shook it off, choreo.
Was he facing the right way?
Yeah. He did the backflip, land on his face, got up, and then bam, choreo. So I was like, all right, if I ever fuck up, dude, there's no excuse. So I broke my ankle going down.
Did you fall? You actually fall down?
The choreo. I didn't like fall like on my ass, but like my ankle did that. And I think I either used my hand to get back up, or like I caught myself, but it's noticeable.
It was fast though. Like, here's the thing.
I was hoping. I was hoping it would be fast.
Here's the thing. You lucked out because you didn't take anybody down with you. Because I was watching the video. It was packed stage. It was like the Ender or something, right? Like, it was a moment.
It was the song before the Ender, but it was you know how when you form, it was like, all right, you save big block windows for big moments. It was big block, big moment. I'm front line. Bam, broken ankle, dog.
I didn't even see it live. I didn't even notice until they told me afterwards. So you did all right.
Oh, thank God. I legit, as soon as we got off stage, I was crying. I was like, last performance, I fucked it up. Fantastic. And then Nancy and Ryan were like, dude, it is what it is. We fucking killed it. No matter what. Like it's not just tonight. It's been like 10 years. Blah, blah, blah. It's all about legacy. You can't worry about it. And I was like, you're fucking right. And then I immediately went to the bar and got destroyed. I don't remember a single thing from that night.
You don't remember saying the things you said to me on stage?
Are we talking about last WAD or the last like summer meltdown when I performed the last time?
I don't remember which one it was.
Because when we performed Meltdown, because we did the WAD set, because it was like less than a month afterwards. Yeah. I remember everything from that night.
Oh, really? Maybe it was that one then.
Because WAD specifically, I remember very little.
I don't remember.
Blacked out hardcore. There's so many pictures of me with teammates, and I'm like, when did this happen?
It might have been your last show. is what it was.
I think it was the last show because I remember dapping you up.
Yeah. You were like super nice. Actually, it was probably the first time that we had exchanged words in a dance capacity. Because we see each other in the studio, we jab each other up like, hey, how's it going? Or I'll see you at the bar in passing, like, oh, okay, like whatever, we'll drink together. And that's the first time we talked about dance. And then you were just like super gracious about it. And it was the thing that stood out to me was it was your moment, right? It was your last show. Everyone's hugging you. I came to say congratulations, and I was so happy for you and proud of you. And you turned it back and you were like, showing respect because I'm a little bit older and just talking about like competing, and like having like a competitor's respect for it. And I was like, this dude's a G. You know what I mean? Like, I think people don't understand sometimes when we compete, we talked about this earlier, is like, if you want to compete, then compete, and
yeah, for sure.
And that just is what it is. And I've never had problems with anybody about it, because after the show, we have these kind of interactions, and you've just been so gracious to me the whole time. Like, when I was wanting to start the podcast, I probably sent you for like a couple months of just, hey, where do you host the show? How do you do this? What's your audio like?
Yeah.
You're giving me, like good, strong answers at all hours of the night. And I think that speaks to you as a leader, right? Because you've always just been, as far as I've heard about it, just super giving to the people around you. So shout out to you, bro.
Oh, I appreciate that, man.
Yeah.
It's just like after dance, I put my energy into this.
Yeah.
And then like you and a couple other homies have hit me up, been like, yo, like I kind of want to start a podcast.
Yeah.
Kind of like, I don't think, not that you did or didn't, but like this one specific person was like, I don't want to like step on your toes or like steal, like look like I'm stealing your shit by doing a podcast. And I was like,
I see
dude, the more the merrier, bro. Like I don't have dance anymore. So the more people that are into podcasts, the more reasons I have to like see and hang out with other people. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so, that's facts. Like it's a good way to talk
I'm
with people
all
right
about
now.
it, dude. Hell yeah. So I'm like, dude, if we have like a bunch of fucking people doing podcasts, and then we could have like a podcast group or whatever.
I feel like we're starting that a little bit, shout out to Sports Chat for kind of kicking it off with everything going on. And then you and the homies, and then you guys have done just like the nicest things, shouting out Grwn Talk early on. And it sounds like we're having like this Houston thing kind of pop up, and it's nice. And I don't think we're stepping on toes at all, because we're in such different lanes at times.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
He was like, yeah, I don't want to like step on your toes. I'm like, look, if you're not, as long as you're not fucking doing our exact same concept, like I'm fucking with it, dude. Like,
yeah,
you're funny. It'll be good.
That's what's up. So, I hope we get more of it, because my body can't handle dancing anymore.
Yeah. And I feel like the dance community and just like our homies in general, inside and outside of dance, are insightful and funny people.
Yeah.
So I'm like, why the fuck not?
It's been cool to see us, I mean, us specifically, but just like our generation of dancers grow up, because you have you're working this job now, right?
Yeah.
At the hospitals, running logistics stuff. So, you're saving lives legit. Right.
Yeah.
And,
thank you.
Like I talked to Elisa, and she's a traveling nurse in San Francisco right now.
She's a beast.
Right. She comes back next week, I think, for a month.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. So I'm excited.
Did she already get her next?
I don't know. I just know she's back for a month. So we should link up, because once everything settles down, we're gonna do a poker night.
Oh hell yeah! Let me know.
Yeah,
I'm fucking trash, but I'm down.
That's fine. Elisa could take our money.
For sure.
Yeah. And then, and just talking to different people, like there's so much more. And I didn't know this like 5, 6 years ago, 10 years ago. Like there's so much more than rehearsals 7 days a week or classes. And like, people are doing so many different things. And it's like, oh, you're interested in this, or you're that. And it took me having a kid to kind of step back and be like, okay, there's more to life than the 5, 6, 7, 8. And it's hard to say, because I love the dance.
When you're in the dance life, that's the life, dude. That's all like that's your focus, bro.
Yeah.
It's hard to think and do other things.
Yep.
So like retiring and like finding hobbies and doing stuff outside of it. It's been kind of like eye opening. Like,
Yeah. Have you found your
shit, I got
groove
time.
yet since retirement?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think I have. The first couple of months, it was kind of like, what the fuck do I do with all this time? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
But then, you know, you slip into hobbies, you find new things you like,
Yeah.
and it kind of just happens. Life moves on, you know.
Is the
I don't know.
podcast a creative outlet for you? Like, do you feel the urge
For
to
sure.
make things or to put stuff out?
Yeah, because like when we started the podcast, and still to this day, we're like, you know, this is we had like the FUBU mentality, for us, by us type of deal. Like if nobody listens besides like the homies,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah. I get
cool.
that.
If other people listen, that's amazing.
Yeah.
But now that we're in it, we're still like yes, this is for us, by us, this is for the homies, but also not that we're like in competition with other podcasts or whatever, but kind of the same mindset where we're like, all right, well, if we're putting all this time into it, we might as well try and get like do what we can to grow. So we've been like, you know, trying to find ways to increase listens and be better at social media. And it's hard, but
no, your guys' social media game is on point. Like all the drafts that you do and the questions and the engagement stuff. I'm like, yo, you guys are really getting some feedback from the community. And I'm like, oh man.
Thanks, man. We're lucky, man. The Houston has been super supportive to us.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that's just we lucked out having a great community at Soundbox or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, like I feel like we made a ton of connections there. But yeah, we've been super lucky with the feedback. I guess, yeah, I don't know. Like when we're in it, we're like, this is really difficult. But then when I step out and look at it, I'm like, dude, we're lucky that we have like any comments and listens at all. Like we're three random guys talking about why dogs sniff each other's butts.
Yeah.
So it's
you know what's crazy is you know, and obviously I'm very new at this too. But what's crazy is like, you know, when that first one drops and like a random like old friend will hit you up that took the time to listen.
Yeah, man.
And it's kind of cool to get that reconnection going. And I don't know, I feel like you guys have started, because I've seen it from the beginning, right? Watching and listening to you guys. Like I feel like you've starting to get a kind of a rhythm, you know, like I think you guys kind of, I'm seeing the personalities and the dynamic shape.
Yeah, it gets easier. Like right off the bat, like Chris listens to some podcasts, but I don't think he listens to like a ton. And then Ryan is like, he went into this like with zero podcasts. And then I was like super into podcasts.
Who are you listening to?
So I listened to, when I was in high school and like early college, I was into, do you know College Humor, Jake and Amir?
Yeah, of course.
So I was super into Jake and Amir back then. And then I found out that they started their own podcast network.
Yeah.
So they have like, they own a business that hosts like, I don't know how many podcasts.
Oh, wow.
But they own a company that hosts podcasts and finds advertisers for podcasts. And they have their own podcast.
Dang,
so I was listening to them. And then just from there, I linked to other podcasts or like, all right, I'm into the Texans. So I'll listen to a couple of Texans podcasts. And then, I found out this celebrity or these people from this one TV show have a podcast. So like right now I'm super into Jake and Amir's If I Were You. They do like a comedy advice podcast. Grwn Talk, of course.
My man.
Sports Trap, of course.
Of course.
Gotta support the homies. And then
did you ever get on that Brilliant Idiots?
No. Who's that?
Yeah. It's Charlamagne the guy, right? From was that Hot 97?
From Breakfast Club?
Yeah, from Breakfast Club. And then Andrew Schultz is like this comedian, like super quick on his feet. And they just talk shit for like 2 hours at a time, but they're both smart. And they'll, you know, they call it Brilliant Idiots because they kind of egg each other on sometimes and they'll say dumb stuff. And I was like, I feel like you would enjoy it, like with the stuff you're telling me about and the stuff that you talk about. Like, yeah, I think.
Yeah, I listen to mostly comedy or sports podcasts.
Yeah.
And then, Office Ladies started, and I'm super into The Office, so I listen to that.
Oh yeah, is that with I don't forget the actress name, like
with Pam and Angela.
Yeah, I saw the thumbnail on it. Is it good?
Yeah, I like it. I see a lot of mixed reviews on it, but I'm not. It's nice to learn like fun facts or whatever.
Yeah.
And then my favorite show of all times is Scrubs, and Zach Braff just started one with Donald Faison. So
Are they really homies like that?
Yeah, they said they said they're really best friends like outside.
That's dope.
Well, so that's super tight.
All right.
But yeah, it's just super comedy. I feel like just a lot of my time I spend either watching or listening to comedy because I'm like, there's enough.
Because you're a funny guy.
Shit. I don't think I'm that funny. I think Ryan and Chris are the funnier guys.
Ryan's only funny when he messes up on the podcast. You just hear go,
dude. In this, the one with Calvin when he drafted,
this one specifically when he messed up his draft.
Yeah, he immediately remembered Cool Runnings after he drafted Homeward Bound. He's like, "Fuck!"
We were talking about it last night, and me, Cliff, Tay were like, "Homeward Bound? Like, what are you talking about?" And T's the only one that goes, "That's my favorite movie."
To Ryan's credit, T and Andy's girl Talia were like, "Yo, shout out to Homeward Bound," but then voted for other teams. I was like, "Sorry, man."
Yeah. No, that's dope. So, hey, so I don't want to run too long, but I appreciate you doing this for me. Doing this with me. Man. Like I said earlier, you've been so gracious to me all the time. Like, for real. And there are other things I was watching you from afar that I respected, like the way you move in the community, the way you handle yourself, your transition out of dance into, just a different chapter of your life. And then getting to see you and Nancy together, I knew that I had to talk to you. I knew that I'm still figuring out kind of the format of how this works. But in my mind, right, I didn't want to hey, here are introductions. I didn't want all that. I really wanted to be a conversation between two people, hopefully two friends, two homies, right? And then ideally, when Elijah finds these, it's like he's the fly in the wall. Like he catches us mid conversation. He's like, who are these amazing people that my mom and dad get to talk to and get to be around? So, I know he's picking up things from you about just how you do things. If you would give him some insight or advice of just how you have grown up or how you, some lessons that someone told you that you want to pass on to him, I would appreciate a couple words.
Yeah, man. I hope anything prior to this, I didn't say anything too ownage for your son, but
he's going to find out sooner or later.
Yeah, that's true. As long as he listens to this at an appropriate age, then I guess that everything said is all right.
Well, Chris and I were talking about masturbation, so
that's true. You and Tay get pretty flirty in some of these episodes.
Like Elijah probably has a couple brothers and sisters on the ground somewhere.
But yeah, I don't know. Like, it's weird for me to give advice because I feel like I'm still like a student. I'm still learning shit. But
I love that about you. That humbleness, though.
Thanks, man. I guess if I could give advice, one thing I always try to do in anything that I do is I just try my best to treat everybody with like the utmost respect and like just be genuine and be you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I feel like in dance life or just life in general, when you're doing something, some people feel like they need to be fucking like cool.
Yeah.
And I have never, at least in my mind, I've never gone into anything trying to be like cool. I've kind of just been
really? I feel like you're one of the coolest.
I don't know. I've always just been like, all right, this is me. For me personally, I feel like I'm sort of an awkward guy outside. I don't know if I give off that vibe, but me
Not at
personally,
all.
I feel like I am. So I'm like, okay, so this is me. I fucking emojis and smiley faces and
Yeah.
fucking I've never, if you look, like when I used to post Instagram all the time, like selfies and shit when I was young, like, yeah, there's some like serious fuckboy faces in there, but I feel like I do a lot of like, I have a lot of stupid shit too. Like I've never tried to take myself too seriously. So if I have advice, I would just say, like everybody you meet, no matter high position, low position, if they're highly skilled in what you're interested in or not, give everybody the same amount of genuine respect. You know what I mean? People can tell when you're faking it.
Yeah.
So just be genuine, uh, be yourself. There's no need to feel cool or try to be cool. Just be yourself. If people don't like you, then they don't like you. That's nothing you can do about that.
That's facts.
That's time saved for later on. You try to be cool and then you open up and they're like, what's that? You just wasted time. So like, just be you from the get go. You don't even fucking worry about it.
Yeah, I like that.
That's how I've tried to approach friendships and leadership and things like that. Like, this is me, take it or leave it, sort of deal. Like, of course, like I'm respectful, and that's, I think, super important to be respectful. But like at the end of the day, all you can be is yourself. So just be yourself.
Simple truths right there, though.
Yeah, just be yourself. People don't like it. I mean, of course, if people don't like it and there's things to maybe sometimes look at yourself, I've had to do that as well.
Okay,
like, you can't be you 100%. You never make mistakes. Like I have made tons of fucking mistakes. So it's just find a balance between you, who you are, and how to be respectful and genuine with everybody else.
That's dope.
Because I think that takes you a long way. Like my whole time dancing on Galing, I don't know if I was, besides the time when it was 5 people, I don't know if I was ever like top 5 best dancer on Galing. You know what I mean? I've just been
debatable.
Possibly, but like definitely the last years when it was like Riot Squad kids that have been dancing just as long
They're
as me.
So good.
I'm like, dude, like, I don't know if it's obvious to you, but it's obvious to me that I'm not as good as you. Like there's absolutely no way. But like, I don't think I got to direct Galing and I got to make all these friendships and get, opportunities with dance purely because I am skilled. I think
skilled at dancing.
It's important. Skilled at dancing.
Okay.
I think it's important to be skilled at human connection.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think it's important to be skilled at empathy and connection and all of that stuff outside of dance. Yeah, you have to be good at dance. And I would say I was a good dancer. But
yeah, for sure.
Thank you. But
I think you were a great director.
I think I was a better director than I was a dancer for sure.
Yeah. Let me pay you this compliment real quick. There are a few people that I would feel comfortable being directed by. If I ever had the chance, I would let you direct.
100%. Oh, that means a lot, man.
100%.
Thank you, man.
Yeah. Because I think all the things you said is true. And I think that translates in the studio, out the studio, all that. I think you truly get the idea or what it means to be a leader. Like hearing you be focused about what's important or what the goal is, or being prepared, or doing it with the homies or with the people piece of it. I think it makes sense, man. Yeah. It comes off clear to me. So
thank you, man.
That's you.
That means a lot for sure.
Yeah. And then the last question is, because I want to keep having great conversations and letting Elijah be exposed to different people. Who is somebody that you would nominate for me to talk to, whether I know them or not, just somebody that's had an impact in your life, or you think that has some type of wisdom and that he might get something from?
Yeah. It's hard for me to not shout out like every single homie here. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I get it.
Because it's like Chris, and Ryan.
I actually don't know Chris a lot.
Actually, at all. Chris would be good because he has dived deep into his passions, and he is 100% on brand. He has, he is just like 100% in his zone, and like, all right, I'm an artist. This is my art. I'm going to make t-shirts. I love my brand. I love connecting with people that love my brand, things like that. So everything he does is in focused with his clothing line. And then Ryan would also be great. He's been big bro my whole life. Big little bro my whole life. He has done everything I've done, and to a higher degree, I feel like I model a lot of my stuff after him.
Yeah.
So he would fucking 24/7 galing all day. He was the better, like, speaking to the team type deal. Yeah.
Not that I'm surprised that he's not, but just like hearing us talk right now, I feel like you do well. So to hear him do even better, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, I think he's a better, he's really good at motivational speeches to the team and stuff like that. Like if it's like we need a motivational speech, is Ryan going up there? I'll talk a little bit, but I'm not like, I feel like I'm good one-on-one, but like talking to big groups, I mean, I feel like I'm pretty good at group speaking too, but like Ryan is a much better public speaker.
Yeah.
Comes off. So I model a lot of my dance life after Ryan, a lot of my professional life after Ryan, even though we're in completely different fields.
Yeah.
And like work ethic. Like Ryan is, I don't know, man. He is just grinding all the time. And then I'm shouting everybody out, but like Nancy, I think would be a great speaker.
Oh, you know what? I was talking to Tay about it. I love that you shout Nancy out, because eventually I want to get to a point where I can get 2 more mics. Mm-hmm. And then I want to do segments called double dates with,
yeah, dude.
I mean, cause you get it, you're kind of, once you get into this, seriousness of a relationship, it's a little bit different the way you navigate that space. And it's cool to see other couples, especially who have similar trajectories in dance and, like professional life and all of that. Like just to hear your guys' story is cool.
Yeah. I'd be about it. I'm pretty sure she would be too. But
well, the incentive is Taylor's going to cook dinner, and then we'll do it around the dinner table.
Hey man, you already know I'm down. Food, alcohol, chilling with y'all too. Oh, you know. But yeah, Nancy, I think she, before I dated Nancy, I said I grew up super Catholic, and I still am super Catholic, but she gave me like a different point of view and stuff. Like prior to dating her, I was like, all right, this is like, everything is like, the Catholic teaching is very like, this is what it is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and then she's always been like, she is naturally like just the sweetest, most caring person.
She is.
So she's always been like able to be like, all right, but look at it at this point. Like, look at these situations. Nothing is black and white. Everything is gray. So, and she's double majoring in like public health and social work. So she's like, sees the wide scope of everything, and it's just like,
got a big heart, big mind.
Yeah. So I'm always like, I'm always learning new things, and just seeing things in completely different ways talking to her. So I think she'd be good.
That's what's up.
And then one more, if I can.
Please.
Mickey was in our generation, so I think you know Mickey, right?
That's crazy. So it's always interesting to me when I ask this question and people start overlapping answers. Right?
Somebody said Mickey?
Yeah, so this is the second Mickey that I've heard, right? Chris said Mickey, not Chris, Cliff said Mickey too last night.
Yeah.
And I've heard Dewey a lot too. So once
Dewey's great.
Yeah, I definitely need both of them on. And I told Cliff this yesterday too, so I'm going to tell it again because I think it's important when people who may know me or not know me, like the only reason why I'm actually in Houston is because of Mickey.
Oh, for real?
Yeah. So I'll tell the story one more time because I think it's important.
I had no idea,
really?
Dude. Yeah.
So when I was moving from when I graduated college, I was in the Army and I got stationed in El Paso, Fort Bliss. And I was living in DC. So I drove from Virginia to El Paso. Along the way, I stopped off in Houston. My sister went to U of H. And I wanted to take a dance class because I just started dancing like 2 years ago. And the only team that I knew at the time because of ABDC was So Real, right? And so I walked up and I met Glaze and Mickey. And I met a couple of some kids from Oklahoma,
Glaze. You got to get Glaze on this.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, for
Definitely got to get Glaze on here.
He lives like 10 minutes from me now.
For real?
Yeah, he moved. He lives in the burbs now.
Glaze would be good, dude. He's funny as fuck.
Yeah. But so I met them and I got worked in class. It was super bad. It was an Ian Eastwood workshop. And I didn't know how to
shit.
a fucking noodle at the time. And but so Mickey put me on. He goes, yo, come by this other studio. It's called Soundbox. I was like, oh, word? Okay, come by. Mm-hmm. And I met Wobbs and he was like, oh, you're from DC? Teach a class. And that's when he booked me from that class that you were talking about earlier.
Oh shit.
So he never saw me dance at all. He booked me and I had to go report to my new station in Bliss. I drove back 2 weeks later to do that Friday community class out of nowhere.
Yo, that was when I graduated high school. I was there and he gave me a community slot too. I don't know why I think I was just there visiting my sister. I just went with my sister because she had to do something. And then he had known me from her wedding.
Yeah.
And known Gling from the wedding. He was like, hey, you want to
get booked off of that?
So I did get booked off of that. That was an individual accomplishment. So I guess it takes a backseat to.
But you put the team on.
Yeah. I mean, after that, we're backtracking, my bad. But
no, you're good.
After that, that's when I joined Wild Style for this summer.
Yeah.
In secret. Being on Wild Style, making connections, they gave Galing like the whole month for community classes. Like all 5 of us got to teach a class.
I saw that flyer recently, right?
Yeah. Cool. Ryan reposted it. That was like a big moment for us.
That's crazy.
But back to you teaching.
I mean, that was it. He put me on without even seeing me dance. And then I've always had a connection with them since. And then when I moved to El Paso, Joe Ray at the time was starting to build his own team. And we sucked bad, but they invited us to do Bash 2 in the back when it was super windy.
Yeah.
We were there. It was so bad. Jake Baldwin was with us and it was just bad. And and then, Soundbox has always been so accommodating to us and like the supportive. I mean, you know how it is. Like they put you guys on too, and they've always housed us too. So I definitely got to get the owners on. I got to show respect. And
for sure.
But everyone you name, Ryan, Mickey, Nancy, I would love an intro to Chris sometime. I want to pick his brain too, for sure. Maybe after this is done, we can get the whole Shots and Dots cast on.
Yeah, exactly.
We need to do a Houston podcast. Like all of us at one time.
A big ass Zoom call, dog. And
dang. Hey man, but I appreciate you, boss. Like, I'm gonna just turn this off now. But I just appreciate you, man. Like